started. I know it's not on here, but I've asked Philip to say a prayer for this meeting, if he would. Philip, I'm going to let you do that real quick.
Okay. Holy Spirit, I ask you to be a part of today's meeting. I ask you to give us humility and help us to remember we're here in service as a board to listen to the membership and to do their wishes and to keep our POA healthy and in compliance with our rules and with the desires and the needs of our membership. Help us to remember our place in your order, Lord, that we are called to be of service if we're in a place of authority, that we need to remember humility and to listen more than we speak. And remember, Lord, to be with all of those who are in worse shape all over the world, who are dying and that just need to have peace. So we ask you, Holy Spirit, to have your hand on this meeting. Help us to behave in a way that honors you, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. This is a special board meeting of the Camp Branch Acres Subdivision POA. Please hold all comments until the member comment portion of this meeting. If you choose to disrupt this meeting, you will be asked to leave the premises immediately. Please note that Camp Branch Acres Subdivision does not have any dedicated social media pages, and the Facebook page Camp Branch Acres Residents is not affiliated with this POA in any way. Any information that may be posted about CBAS POA should be regarded as unapproved by the Board of Directors. Any emails that are not specifically from Camp Branch Acres POA@gmail.com should also be regarded as unvetted by the sender.
A housekeeping thing. At the last board meeting, there was need for people to be able to use the restroom, and it wasn't available. It is available this time. So if anybody needs to use the restroom, you go through this door here, and there's a men's and a ladies on the left-hand side when you go in the door.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have Charlene O'Brien present. Kelley Harrell. Jerry Sullivan. We have Philip Canaday via phone. And Kelle Rahm. Okay. Approval of minutes from the February 1 open board meeting.
Like I said in the email, I think that our motion that we table that till we in executive session determine how we want those to be formatted.
Can you say that a little bit louder?
I said I make a motion per the email that I sent the board earlier that I think we talk about in an executive session to determine how we would like these to be formatted going forward, particularly in regards to how we format the members' comments.
Okay. Anybody have a?
I second that.
Okay.
If we do that, when would those minutes come up? Would we do that at our next quarterly meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Kelly motioned to table. Charlene seconded. Any discussion about it? All in favor?
Philip, aye.
Charlene?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Jerry? Okay. Treasurer's report. Charlene?
Yeah, the treasurer's report, this is a February 2025 I'm still awaiting statements, but I went online and got the amount so I could report back to this board. We had $5,369.02 deposited in dues. Our beginning cash on hand was $4,915.07.
Say that again. Oh, it was 4,000.
$915.07. We had dues deposited in the amount of $5,369.02. We had one expense in February, Chico, the boat ramp street light, $9.75. Our ending balance cash on hand in the checking account is $10,274.34. Our previous money market account has been changed to a capital reserve checking account. Our interest rate for income on that decreases only by a teeny tiny margin of an expense. What it does for us is the way the money market account was set up, we had to keep a minimum balance of $2,500 in there to be able to earn interest on it and not be charged fees for them holding our money. And then additional fees if we pulled money out. Now with the capital reserve checking account, we are not charged per transaction. We have 10 transactions per month at no cost. We have no maintenance fee. And we still earn interest. The balance on that
How much
account,
interest?
How much interest?
I thought I brought that with me. I can get back to you on that, Phil. I don't have that paperwork with me.
No worries.
The beginning cash on hand in that account was $2,542.65. We earned interest in February of 21 cents. Our ending cash on hand in that account is $2,542.86.
When it's appropriate, I have a comment.
Are you?
Expenses?
I'm waiting for someone to recognize me.
Okay, Phil, go ahead.
I understand what has been done. I would hope that we understand that a capital reserve account is by nature supposed to be something that we don't use. It shouldn't be. It just almost sounds like we're setting it up so that we can dip into that 2,500 and no big deal. The idea is for it to be for emergencies that are unforeseen or improvements for the for the boat ramp or for something like that the whole group would like to see done for the benefit of the community. So I'd like to revisit this at some point in the future just to make sure that we are getting the best interest and we're not setting ourselves up to use it as a slush fund.
Okay, we can
Hold on, I'd like to comment on that.
Yes.
I appreciate your input, Phil. This is the minimal structure. If we take anything below 2,500 out of that money market account, we're at zero interest and transaction fee. This is the minimal structure to be able to have access to that money and not be charged fees and alleviate all the interest.
Yeah, and I'm just asking that we bring that up again and vote on it at some future point. I understand that's what's already been done, but I had no part of it.
Okay.
I asked to be recognized, Phil, because I have comments too. I remember going back when we talked about converting this, we converted so that if and when we had an emergency, that we had the money and we could access it for that purpose.
And we can do that with all of the CDs and the other ways as well. We just don't get our interest. We usually have to forfeit our interest if we do that.
Well, that was the purpose that we agreed to on whenever we decided to make this change.
Yeah, for emergencies, and we do have it.
Okay, I don't think we fully understood it.
Well,
Maybe you
I thought we were
did.
just changing the name.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to comment again. If we go back to a money market account with the higher interest, which is not much at all, I mean, we earn 21 cents interest. If we have to use this money and we pull it at $2,450, we pull $50 out of it. Now we're being charged $12.99 per month until we get that balance back up to $2,500.
Yes.
And we're also
I
going to talk
understand, I
about,
understand what you're saying, and I'm not saying that we need to discuss this anymore today. I'm saying I'd like to bring it up in the future because I don't feel it was fully vetted. I wasn't told interest rates or anything when we discussed this previously. So I will go ahead and turn the table back to the chair, but just let it be known I'd like this added to an agenda item in the future for discussion with interest rates and all options laid out before the board, before this is put to rest permanently.
okay, I understand what he's saying now. At that meeting, Charlene was going to talk to the bank and see what was available, I think is what we had discussed. And are there any other options for this? I mean, I know this is probably the best option, but were there any other options for this type of account?
Oh, I'm sure there were. I took the least structured one where we could have access to the money without a withdrawal fee and
Okay.
still accrue interest per month
Okay.
on whatever the total amount was there. I do have the paperwork.
Okay.
It is,
Yeah.
and I'll be happy to scan it and send it to every one of you guys. But yeah, this was the best deal, for us per our banker.
Okay. If you could scan that after the meeting.
I don't have
within
it.
Well, not today, but like
Right,
within the
right.
next week.
Yeah, no
so
problem.
that can be looked at, and we will talk about whatever at a later time. Like you
Yeah, I
said.
have both. I have the way our money market was set up and what would happen if you start pulling money out below 2,500, and I have the new structure.
Okay.
No problem.
As always, as a board member, we can say we need to discuss something.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Second.
Philip Canaday seconds.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Philip, aye.
Okay, moving on to expenditures. The only expense that I have been made aware of is our registration tags that are due by March. It is $68.75.
I thought they were in the summer.
Nope.
Okay. Registration tags. Where is
For the
that trailer?
Well, we had complaints about where it was parked, and remember, and I said, fine, we can park it on my lot, and that's where it's at.
Okay. I knew that it wasn't up there. I figured that's probably where it was. Okay. So you're going to have to write a check for, which is, well, that'll be in the budget, and I think we already had it budgeted anyway. $61. Did it go up?
$68.75.
It went up.
Yes, because now they added that you don't have to get an inspection fee.
Inspection. We didn't have to get a trailer inspected anyway.
Yep, there's that.
All right. Anything else, Charlene?
I did want to let the board know that the recent road maintenance that was done, I do have 2 invoices that I have issued payment for. One is in the amount of $900, the other is in the amount of $1155.03. The $1155.03 was for road materials to Texas Materials. The other was for limestone road base, and delivered by Nelms Dozer for $900. Those checks were written and mailed February 26th. And that's all I got.
So we're going to the road report now, and we can talk about my question on
We'll
that.
have to motion to approve her to write the checks.
To write the
Oh,
check
wait,
for
wait,
the
all right.
tags.
Yeah.
Okay.
I motion we vote to let Charlene write the check for the
Okay.
registration fees.
$68.
75.
cents.
Yes,
We second?
I second.
I thought we covered that last time. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. We done with money?
I think so.
Well, that,
Unless anyone has any other questions.
no. No, you said it. Road report.
Well, as Charlene just stated, we spent money on the roads. We brought in limestone and put it on that stretch of road that running down Camp Branch Acres from the turn where we store materials all the way down to Highline Road. We use some of it on Highline Road, and we use a little bit of it down on West Big Lake Road. Okay, and then we use asphalt from the parsonage up around the turn there at Joe Chambers and down to the turn there at Little Lake Road. And then we patched places on Ramp Road, on West Big Lake Road, and we did a little bit up on Sweet Gum asphalt, pothole patching, and pretty much to the point where almost out of materials again now. Okay.
Right by Miss Tyner's,
Yes.
the first,
Yes.
that something needs to be put in there because you're dropping off the road whenever the cars turn in, and I'm afraid she's gonna bottom out.
I think we still have some limestone, and we still have a little bit of rock. And seeing how that turn is rock, we'll use a combination of those two. But thanks for mentioning it to me. And I know once we put the limestone down, we had that heavy rain and everything, and we're going to have to do some more repairs there. But now that we got the limestone down, I'm suggesting that we use rock on it again. The rock lasts longer than what the limestone does when you have the kind of rains that we end up having.
Yeah. And that place up by the pylons, when you turn onto their road,
Yes.
Travis and I had fixed that a little bit last year, right before the rains or right after.
We need materials in there.
Okay.
I rode up there and I looked at it, and yes, we definitely need materials in there.
Okay.
So, and we still have some money left over. I mean, we had 3,500 approved, so we've got some monies left. So, we'll be looking at determining where and what and how much we can do, and we'll be moving forward with that if the weather continues to hold out.
Right.
Well, we'll have to do it anyway, whether the weather holds out or not. It's just a matter of when we do it.
Right.
That's all. Okay.
And remember, the $3,500 was the end of last year's deal. We haven't even talked about this year's budget yet.
That's correct.
So, okay.
Yeah, we will. Yes, yes, we definitely we'll be needing more because that's not going to get us through the year.
Right.
Okay.
Have you thought about a different type of material on the roads that constantly get potholes? Like,
If anybody has a suggestion to better materials, please let me know.
okay. I'm just asking because it was brought up, and
We have looked at several materials, and again, we're open. If anybody's got suggestions, if somebody can show us where we can get a better bang for our dollars, we're all for it because we just don't have money to spend unwisely.
okay.
Hold on. Jerry, did you mention that you also did repair right there on Lakeside Circle between the Cravies and the Corleys?
Oh, I forgot. Thank you. Yes, we did. Lakeside Circle, from Camp Branch down to the turn there at the Cravies. We filled some potholes there.
Those are pretty bad.
Yeah, with
That area, I know whenever it flooded, I'd gone up there because there was like a river running through it and stuff. Maybe we need to look at, this is just for future, need to look at some kind of system that will go so that doesn't get the potholes. And
now you're talking about putting a culvert in.
well, I'm saying just look at the options that need to be done because, I mean, we're just spinning our wheels and wasting the money if we don't do something to fix what the problem is.
Well, we put rock
Yeah.
down there this time whenever we did it, and if the rock doesn't fix that situation or make it last longer, then you're talking a culvert to be realistic.
Yeah,
Okay,
something.
we've got a culvert that is collapsing on us on Highline Road. We covered over it with asphalt because it has been sinking, and that's just a temporary fix. We're going to have to spend money to replace that culvert.
The new one?
No, not the new one.
Okay.
You go on up past Ramp Road, and you get up to Mr. Jordan's, just before Mr. Jordan's property. There's the road is sinking, and that's because that culvert. It's a culvert. Probably the old galvanized culverts that they put in were about 12 inches in diameter. Anyway, it's collapsing.
So you're looking into, can you get bids on materials, please? Just start getting bids on materials for that, and
Yes.
that way we've got it.
Yes, I'm just letting y'all know that that's coming before us. Okay.
Do I have a motion to accept the road report?
I motion to accept the road report.
I'll second.
Did you have any questions, Phil?
No,
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. All in
I
favor?
did have one question. How much did we spend on that? It sounded like, Jerry, we were almost out of the 3,000 that we had allocated, or the 3,500 we'd allocated last meeting.
You have approximately 1,600 left of the 3,500.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
All right.
Discuss the website. All right. Yeah, I sent y'all options for website. I did pull off the Google website as well. It is business standard is $14 a month for that one. Since all our stuff is on Google Drive anyways, it'd be easier to put stuff on there. But we had Wix, GoDaddy, HOA Express. Those were the three that I did. Did anybody else look into?
I just looked at Google.
And you saw the same one? Google?
Yeah, pretty much. If it's, I'm not sure it has to be the business site though.
That's all that came. It says Business Starter, Business Standard, Business Plus, Enterprise.
Well, there's one. I'll see if I can find it for you. That is essentially free. It's let me find the information for you. I thought I had it with me, but
I think I have something too.
yeah.
While he's looking, what do you have, Charlene?
I think it's the same thing he found, believe it or not.
Yeah. I think I've got it on my phone as well. I thought I printed a copy.
Yahoo has reconfigured my email, and I'm having a hard time finding anything on it.
Well, I know I've got it, but I'm not going to be able to print it right here, right now. Okay. So,
If you can just read it and,
it's like 30 pages long.
well, I mean, a general, what is it?
Okay, just a minute. I'll see if I can find
What
it.
does it have? What is available? How much storage is on there? are we able to put our G Drive stuff that we have, that we're working on with that? Kelly, did you look in?
I just looked at what was emailed.
Phil, how about you?
No, I have nothing.
The pros didn't print on this. Oh wait, no, there they are.
Let me do a search real quick.
HOA Express is free too.
Is it?
The basic features.
Well, I'm going to vote for one of the free ones, I can tell you that. Okay.
I get it. But if they get us into trouble, we may have to take a look at it. Free, it doesn't always necessarily mean that it's the best.
Well,
What is it that y'all are looking for, could I ask?
Website information.
For what?
Our website.
looking for somebody, a company to host the website, whether it's Google or Wix or
GoDaddy or HOA Express.
Don't seem like y'all have it together.
at this time. We
Question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Do any of the hosts that you've mentioned offer any services for actually developing the website that will be posted on their server?
Yeah, actually, I just found what I found.
Okay, I think I just found it too when I did search. Go ahead, Charlene, go ahead.
Google Sites is the no-code free website builder for Google. The primary mission of Google Sites is to allow users to effortlessly create impactful team sites. Anyone can use Google Sites to easily create and host simple business websites for free. Google Workspace customers can utilize Google Sites to develop secure and engaging intranet sites for users. That's what I found. And it's free, and it's Google, and I thought it would be great since we're already Google.
Yes.
Question?
Yes, sir.
Does it mention how the sites are created? Does it use AI? Because that's becoming one of the things to create simple websites as an AI interface. So you don't have any.
Google, the best of Google AI. This one did say it does.
Okay. I'm thinking since
Go that far into it.
most of us have very little experience developing websites, that one factor should be its ease of use by current and future board members.
Yeah. It also
And the Google sounds to me like it's possibly a good option on that.
says it get awesome Google site templates.
There we go.
Okay. So anyway, talk with clients. Let's see. There's all kinds of information on here.
It's
And
free, it doesn't hurt to try it. If
There
it
you go.
doesn't work,
There you
then
go.
it doesn't work. But
yes, I agree.
it costs us nothing to put forth the effort.
Yeah. And let's face it, if Google is putting it out there,
It can't be that bad.
they're going to stand behind
And
it.
we're already Google.
Yes.
Right, or G Drive. That was the ease of getting, that stuff out.
What was the cost for Google?
Zero.
Zero.
Nada. Nil.
Okay, so Philip makes a motion that we engage Google to create our website.
Okay.
I'll second it.
I'll third it.
Yeah.
You want to flip it?
Yeah. I'm all for it. Okay.
Motion to
price is
engage
right.
Google for our web. God. Okay.
Who's going to do that?
Look at me.
Well, first let's see if we want to do it at all.
Okay.
We haven't got a vote yet.
Okay. Philip motion, Kelly seconded, Charlene third. All in favor?
Aye.
Philip, aye.
Okay.
Now who wants to do it?
I volunteer to do it.
I thought I heard you say you were Phil.
No, that wasn't me.
Sure was.
It must have been an echo. I got it too.
Echo,
it's 3-1.
I think we have a bad connection.
Okay.
I think Charlene just said she volunteered to do it. Is that correct?
Yes, but I would like to know specifically what information you guys want me to gather.
Okay. And that was
And you
another
can
thing.
send it to me over the next week. Think about it
Okay.
and send me notes on specifically what the priority information is we need to know about this site.
Okay.
And I'll do that. Can you guys do that for me, please?
I would use our old site as a template to get started, and then and use that as our foundation, and then make changes, to that. So I don't. Do we still have access to view our original site, right?
That has changed from what it originally was,
Yeah, it's
We
still
need to
there.
have a place to upload all of our
Do you mind
documents.
if I help you with
and
if we work together with
Absolutely
that? Okay.
not.
All right.
And we can all respond
But
to.
send me your thoughts when they come to you, so we have it on paper. And when we're going over things, I can say, well, we didn't check this out.
But I don't want anything to slow you down from starting it up, Charlene. I want you to feel comfortable just going ahead and doing something, because we can always change it.
Well, she
It's not a one and done.
yeah, and she said within the next week.
I thought I was just vetting it at this point.
No, we think you're creative.
Let's
No, we need to get something going.
I say you do.
We can't keep putting this off month after month.
Together can figure it out. Y'all are pretty smart. I think
Yeah.
you could do it.
Yeah.
And Jerry and I will look at it and say it's great, and
Yeah.
Phil will look at it from afar and say good to go, and then do it.
He'll give us the thumbs up.
That's right.
He's
Okay.
thumbs up, Phil.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Charlene.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So we got motion on the website.
One other thing, I want to make sure that it's real clear that the passwords are to be held by the chairman and those she designates, and no one else shall have control of this website.
Well,
If
that
Charlene,
should-
everyone-
we have to talk about
That
that.
should be voted on by the board.
Right. Right.
Well, until we do vote on it, we better not give out any passwords to anybody then.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that that's something we have to vote on. That's surprising.
Okay, I'm surprising
Because
today.
the whole reason we're in a problem right now is because our website is owned, our website is owned by a non-board member while it was posting board appropriate stuff. We had no control over it, and it was taken away from us.
Well, that's
So
not
that can't
that's
happen
not
again.
that's not really why it became a problem. But I think we have a good plan in place, and I think we should just to move forward.
Exactly.
And Charlene and I are going to work together on that. So.
I look forward to what y'all are creating.
Have you ever seen stick figures?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm really good at those.
Move on.
Okay, discuss and act on the fee schedule. This printed out small.
Did it? Because I've got a
No.
copy. I'll share with you if you want.
No, that's okay. I think I printed it from.
Vote that we table this also and discuss it amongst ourselves first, unless you guys are good to go. Because I threw a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Some that are in our bylaws, some that are not, that I thought maybe at a future date might be a part of our restrictions that are pretty standard throughout this area. But if y'all are comfortable discussing it now, I'm ready.
No, I think we should discuss it amongst ourselves before we move forward.
Because it's a lot.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
I was trying to cover a lot of bases.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll make a motion for us to defer making final decisions on that at this time.
I missed what we're talking about. What are we motioning to put on hold for later?
The
Did I
fee,
send that
the fee
Wednesday?
schedule.
Did I
The
email
fee
that
schedule.
Wednesday?
The fee schedule.
Right, that's something that we need to discuss. Yeah, because there's some things on there that need to be worked on for sure, but
Right. So
we can do that. We can do that in an open session. if you guys want. And there's no reason why that has to be in an executive session, why we need to discuss it outside of a regular board meeting either.
I think we're just saying we're not ready to do that yet. We haven't all looked at it and thought about it long enough to decide, make sure where we stand on that. I don't know. Now, maybe you have, Phil.
Well, it doesn't, we got plenty of months because, this fee schedule doesn't come into place until the new year, does it?
No, it was supposed to be done last year.
Is it?
Well,
But
When does it become effective?
As soon as we put it in place.
yes.
Okay. All right.
but
I think board meetings are for discussing stuff. What I'm hearing you say, Jerry, is you want to discuss it privately outside of an open meeting. We don't have to come to any conclusion, but we're supposed to talk about stuff.
Well, no.
I think what
I
he's
did-
saying is that he just wants us all to look at it and determine which ones we want in it as a group, and then be able to talk about those.
And I don't have any problem with discussing it here in front of everybody. I'm just telling you right now, I've been busy. I haven't had time to give this the proper thought that it deserves, in my opinion.
I tell you what, if you guys want to, let's go through these items, and if there are any.
Can we just read them at least?
Yes.
At least touch on?
yeah,
Okay.
we can do that.
So
Charlene?
what I was saying is if we go through them real quick and agree to strike any of them, then that's less we have to focus on. Because I think some you guys are going to want some of these gone. Do you have?
As long as we limit ourselves to 5 or 7 minutes for this read and discuss.
I can do it. I
give
can
us
do
some
it.
sort of a time limit so we don't get caught up in it.
I can do it quicker than that. Do you have it in front of you? I emailed it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I've got it. I just have to bring it up. I've got it. Budget proposal for discussion.
Not budget. This is the fee schedule. It would have come from.
No, the fee schedule. Excuse me. Yeah, I read the wrong one. I've got it right here. Okay, I've got it up on my screen.
All right, as I go through these, I'm going to tell you the ones that already exist, so I'm going to automatically check those. If you disagree, just tell me you disagree. The first one is our annual assessment of $200. That's already a fee. It stays. The annual assessment for a new owner is prorated $16.66 per month of new ownership. That's already there, so I say we keep that. The late fees of $25 annually after January 30th is already in place. I say that we keep that. The payment plan is in place. $25 charge per payment plan.
Do we already charge them for the payment plan?
No,
Okay.
this would be added.
Okay.
All right, so we'll keep that for topic. Return check fee, $48.
Is that what the bank charges us?
The bank charges us $8. All right, so we'll keep that one for discussion. Statement of account, request from financial institutions, title companies, etc., seeking info status on property in Camp Branch Acre Subdivision Property Owners Association, $50.
So whenever those title companies say is so and so paid up on their dues, or we can charge them $50 for that. Okay, that's what I thought that was.
All right, we'll leave that for discussion. Property transfer of ownership. This cost is to the new owner in title transfer, should be done with the title company, $150. Even if it's not done with the title company, it would still be due and payable to the association by the new owner. All right, we'll keep that for discussion.
Yeah.
Registered certified letter each, $7.50. I'm sorry, $25.
Okay, so we have 25, okay.
Yeah.
Demand letter, $7.50 each, mailed, not electronic. Construction or improvement plan review, $25.
And what would that be for?
That would be anyone that is improving, pulling an old trailer off and bringing a new trailer in. We would have to see the plans and make sure that it doesn't go over property lines or street easements.
I personally don't want that one, but
I'm not.
Okay, keep in mind though, what if someone sets a shed right beside the road? Our roads are already small.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
let's-
yeah, we've got a lot of trailers that go in and out. And
That was just an
people-
example.
Well,
There's
I
lots
get
of
it.
stuff that can happen.
I get it.
We can keep it in here for discussion, okay?
It's, okay. Construction improvement deposit refundable upon completion and review, $1,000. Hey, go with your gut instinct. If that's a no, say it's a no.
No,
Yeah, I'm a no on
I'm
that.
a no on that too.
Phil?
Yeah, let's pull that one. I don't see that, it's especially since it's refundable, I don't see really the need for it. It's just people are already trying to get money together to do an improvement. We don't want to make it harder.
Okay.
I might be for it if the fee was a little bit less, but, I think
Well,
that's,
I'm getting to that.
okay.
Construction improvement made without prior approval, $500.
So that's sort of a fine.
Yeah, I say no to that because there's going to be a lot of people that
One,
want to
two,
do.
I'm a no on that one, okay.
Yeah, we can cross that out.
construction improvement, unauthorized changes made after approval. Field changes made without approval.
No.
If we nix the other two,
Nix that
that
one
would.
too.
Well, we're keeping the construction improvement plan review. If that stays and we review it and then they build something totally different in a total different direction that obscures, or causes a safety risk or turn hazard or something like that, then we have a problem. What's our basis for getting that modified, corrected, mitigated?
Well, our CCNRs should cover that. If somebody does something that's wrong, we should have the authority to have them remove it.
All right, stay or go?
Y'all said no.
Let's
Let's
Open for
take,
discussion.
It can always be added later.
yeah, we can discuss.
we're not approving it. We're just saying whether or not to keep it for further discussion.
Yeah,
Correct.
That's it, okay, further discussion.
Okay.
Property damage at cost, legal fees at cost, property cleanup by POA at cost. Okay,
What
moving on.
That's fine. I'm okay with all of that, but I'm thinking that there's something to discuss. Might be a fine for somebody. If we have to go to all the trouble because somebody refuses to clean up their property, there ought to be some sort, just like we're talking about having a fee schedule for doing documents and things like that. If a board member or we have to hire somebody to come in and coordinate the cleanup of another member's property, there ought to be some expense to that property owner for our labor trying to fix their mess.
It is in our covenants already. This is
Yes.
just a
A
fee
for doing
schedule.
it.
Well, the problem with the fee schedule is, the properties are going to be different, and it can be cost more depending upon the condition of that property. Yeah, so, I think I would go for at cost and not set a fee schedule, because a fee schedule for one property might be too high, and for another one, it wouldn't be near enough,
Yep.
So,
Right. I was talking about more of a fine, at cost plus a fine of some sort to cover the labor involved by the POA to have to go ahead and fix their mess. It wouldn't change the at cost for the repair, the cost of the cleanup itself, but it would be adding on top of that a fee for our having to clean up their mess for them. It would be given to the association.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that falls under the next section.
Yeah.
Restrictions and restriction violations. Violation notices. This fine requires a majority vote from the board of directors. This fine will only be imposed after giving the property owner 30 days to correct the violation. Violation notices will be hand delivered or sent to property owner by certified return receipt mail. After the 30 days, once they've received the notice, if they do not act and clean up their property, there is an automatic $25 per month charge. The general categories of restrictive covenants for which the association may assess fines are, but not limited to, illegal dumping, accumulated trash and or debris, unauthorized use of boat launch, which would be property owner not present with guests, swine, poultry, fowl, goats, cattle, horses, or other animals being kept or raised in subdivision for resale. Household pets are acceptable so long as that they are not being bred or maintained for sale. Culverts installed, not to specifications. Noise, maintenance, such as paint, workmanship, etc. Noxious, discharge, harmful, poisonous, or very unpleasant. Any offensive, unlawful, or immoral act, hunting, or discharge of firearms.
That last one has to come out because we can't have that in there.
Which last one?
Discharge of
Immoral act.
Well,
That's already in our bylaws.
Well, it's not.
I mean, that section, I was saying that section.
It's not enforceable because
It's not enforceable, so.
Okay, minus the discharge of firearms, the rest of it is enforceable and it's in our bylaws.
Yeah.
Cool.
and again, this is just for future discussion.
Yep.
Right.
Record, production, and distribution. Everybody get a chance to look at that? I really don't want to read half this page.
Yeah. That's, just per page.
yeah,
I would say just keep this whole thing in there for discussion.
Cool.
Because the main thing on here is maybe discussing the fees, make sure we're all in agreement. We all understand that a PDF, doesn't really cost us anything, but a hard copy does. So, if we're keeping up our digital files, it should be very easy for us to fill a records request just by people requesting what year and what they want. We should be able to just pull it off of our Google Drive.
But it still takes time, and there still are fees associated with everything. The research data that I had, the HOAs that I pulled this from, Harbor Point HOA, Hog Heaven HOA, High Gabriel Estates HOA, Bentwater Estates HOA, Ranches of Canyon Creek HOA.
okay.
So I did a
That's
lot of
fine.
research on these.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can discuss that, discuss the fees. I know that for instance, at another HOA or POA that I'm a member of, if you have an out of compliance thing and you don't handle it within, I forget, 30 days, it's like a $500 fine. So we're pretty fair on our stuff,
Shoot, I've lived in HOAs where if you leave your garage door open for longer than 2 consecutive hours, you get a fine.
1 hour, put the
Yeah.
trash out
Are we-
1 hour ahead.
That's
Are
right.
we to a point we can move on?
Well, Jerry motioned to table the fee schedule. I did not have a second.
Second.
I don't like the idea of tabling it. I would like to see it tabled, tabled
Future discussion.
and will be reviewed and acted upon at our next meeting.
Okay, I'll make those changes.
So we don't table it for every meeting between now and January.
That wasn't what my intent was, okay? And yes, I'm good with us being able to make some decisions on it at our next meeting.
I'll make those changes and get them out to everyone.
Okay.
I put that Jerry Sullivan to table vote on accepting fee schedule before we all review it.
Before we review and
To be acted upon at our next meeting, I hope is in there somewhere.
yes, she's typing.
So as fast as she can.
And Kelly seconded, right?
Yes.
Yes, she did. Now we need to vote.
Just dropped.
Okay, we need to vote.
All in favor?
Aye. Philip?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye, Philip.
Okay.
Okay, new business.
Don't forget them.
Yeah, I got it done. We're going to, Bertha had mailed hers in, and she wanted to make a change, and so here's her change, and so we're gonna pull her original envelope out and replace with this.
Mark change on the top. What we know.
I got one.
You want to check the voters still and then we can tally them down here or you want to do that? Don't call out the vote.
No, not at all.
Theresa R.
Here, you wanna mark it?
You got it.
Here, there you go.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, did you, oh, well, what about Bertha? Did you count hers?
Where
Did you find it in there yet?
I just gave it to you.
No, I have it here. but-
Oh, there, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, wait till I find it, okay. All right, I've got,
Or we can go ahead and, if this is the one we're gonna use, we can go ahead and use this. When we
Right.
find it, just trash it.
all right, I've got, Kevin and Kelley Harrell.
Yeah, who are they?
Yeah, I wonder. Patrick Pilon. Steve Corley. Rex and Heather Wolf.
Let me see that one. They can, if they do that, then that negates their other property address. Because 150 is the
150 is
1/3.
there, no.
That's not accurate. That is the third ownership property. She's got it on the,
What is y'all's address?
150 Little Lake Road.
That's Dad's property.
They're
Or
170.
170.
Okay.
170.
She put 150 on here. How are we gonna handle it? They're right next door to one another.
well, thing is,
Just,
no. There is a resident at that address. And if that resident casts a ballot,
There,
that creates a problem.
yeah, they did at 150. Well, I think.
So we need to make that correction for their address.
their address should be changed to 170.
Are we okay with me writing through an initial?
Yeah.
My dad's old place,
Yeah.
yeah, that was just a flip.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm just saying, just for.
Jennifer Harris.
Didn't help. That way we have two people saying yes or no and two people checking.
I'm not
yes,
saying.
we're good to go.
Oh,
Michael Horn. Suzanne Madeline. Magdalena, there we go, thank you. I got it right? Okay. Magdalena, thank you. Shannon Burke. Don Fisher. Sandy Waymire. Ronald Norris.
That's what I was laughing. Gotta love
this is
Ronnie.
hard.
Yes.
Wanda Murphy. Marilyn and Steve Seiler. Jim Donahoe. Me. Speak up, Jim. Richard Wolf. That's the other address.
Wait a minute, we've already got one in there.
No.
Yeah.
Not for
Yeah,
this
yes, we
address.
do, because Rex and Randy both signed one, if we can,
Well, just hold it until we get
Yeah,
the other one.
yeah.
Okay.
Because what that gets into is if Randy passed a ballot, then that negates.
Rex, we made sure, because there's 3 property owners, that at least 2 of them sign it, because that's 2/3 of the vote.
A third.
Yeah.
It's how it was inherited.
Well, let's find them in
Yeah.
Trace Wilkshaw. Wilkosh. Wilkosh. I'll get it in just a minute. Timothy O'Brien.
Oh, God.
Peggy Jackson. Need to open that one.
You got Peggy? Together. Sorry. You see what she did, right? Filled out the first page and then cast her ballot on the second.
Kelle Sullivan.
Ooh, I have all those on this too.
Well, at least we got it on record, that's all we need.
David Simons. Randy and Rex.
Okay, that's the one that with the, and so it was 2 to 1.
Okay, so here's the thing. Even with it being in thirds, since the other 2 also own property, they also have a vote. So one way or another, it negates something. They can't vote 2 separate ballots because property ownership for the same owners combine the lots to 1 vote. The reason that Richard gets a vote is because that's the only lot in his name. See what I'm saying?
Is that in the bylaws?
They a third own it equally, so
Right.
it's whoever's the majority of all 3. Just like the
Right.
decision needs to be made on it, and 2 people want something, 1 person doesn't. Legally, since they all 3 own a third, it's majority wins.
Okay.
That's
Well,
inherent
with that
law.
being said, we both own our property, so if I
Right.
get a vote, she gets a vote?
No.
Okay, well, it's the same thing.
That's right.
Owner's lots are combined to 1 vote, whether you have 50 or 2.
Okay?
So you wouldn't get a vote on 150. And if you're saying that you, Randy, and Richard aren't gonna let, if you and Randy are saying that you're not gonna let Richard vote, okay, I'm just explaining for all intents and purposes. If you guys don't have a unanimous agreement for him to cast a ballot, that's fine. I don't care either way.
Well,
But you can't cast a ballot on a third of a property when you're already casting a ballot for your others.
We're not casting a third of a property, it's 3 involved, so there's a majority, right?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you show me in the bylaws where it states that?
Yes.
It does, we,
Can I-
and
can I make
say we.
can I make a
put those off to
suggestion?
the side.
Yeah.
Can we defer this for the moment? Let's count the ballots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
it
it-
might not matter.
It might not matter.
right,
Okay. And then this is something can be handled at a different
yeah.
at a different time. Okay. Cody Hahn.
Got it.
Susie Ellen.
Oh, hey.
Travis Elliott. Phil, are you taking a nap? Bailey Barnes.
I'm still here. I'm just trying to keep my mouth shut.
Okay. I just hadn't heard
Give
from
you guys a break from my.
I just hadn't heard from you in a while, so I thought I'd make sure.
Thanks for checking in.
Carolyn Oliver Delaney. Oh, here. Becky Doucette.
She's here.
Yeah.
We haven't got the second.
Bertha Corley. Here's the one that we're going
No,
to.
that's just give it back to her.
Bertha.
Thank you.
You'll have to open it to see. John Sullivan. Kelle Rahm and Randy Wolf. Box is empty. I'm going to move it so that it doesn't block the people's view.
Yeah, we were told that the majority of the three of them gets the vote. However, and that's the way the vote goes. That's what we were
Where
doing.
did you get that? Does any one of them not own
Stop the fan
property?
for you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I say we, it's not gonna make a difference.
For the
that-
future, though.
Right, for
For
the
the
future.
to lessen confusion.
So we'll try the other one.
Just tell me that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
All right, so it's 28 yes, 2 no.
And I have faces more than once.
We're gonna
It's
get
not fun.
that because we're not,
Not too far. Maybe one more. No? Is it stopping?
no, they're pretty easy.
One more. Yeah, okay.
you ready?
Okay, so the motion, money from Camp Branch Acres Subdivision Property Owners Association members can be used to repair parts of the roads within the subdivision that are not formally encompassed within the restrictive covenants, reservations, and provisions of our association or our plat maps. 28 yes, 2 no. Motion passed. Do I have a motion to accept the results?
I motion to accept.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Philip, aye.
All right. Now, we have it on record. Discuss and act on, we didn't put out a sign-up sheet, but we only had, for the bylaws committee, legal help on that. We had 2 people email us back, Theresa and Kay, for the bylaws committee.
Good.
I'm interested.
So mine,
Okay. We got
I didn't sit on it.
Mike Harris. We got Bertha. You got a question, Jennifer? Or are you interested?
No, I'm interested. I didn't get that email.
Okay. All right. Jennifer Harris.
I think somebody's at our door.
Anybody else?
And the legal help part, we were talking about, it needs to be run through an attorney, a legal system, something, once somebody needs to look at it other than us. My opinion, to make sure that these get done correctly.
Well, right now, we need to get the committee together.
Oh, we gotta get these going because it's gonna cost us a bunch of money. Okay, so that was Mike and Jen Harris.
Yes.
And who was Kay, Theresa, Mike, Jen, and Bertha. I saw her. Any other questions on the committee? When we need a update in our meetings from the committee as they're going, so we need to once we get them together, we'll pick a person, but we need to incorporate that into our meeting minutes to get as one of the committees. We also need an election committee, but I didn't put it on here this time. You wanted to? You were going to say something?
I say let's don't have it on there right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we need to get it started.
Next meeting,
Huh?
next meeting, we'll put it on our budget.
Yeah, we need.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Discuss and act on the 2025 budget. Okay. So on the proposed 2025, Phil, do you have that in front of you?
Not yet.
Okay.
Looking.
So total income is suggested to be $15,600. That's if 78 of the property owners pay the $200 fee. That gives us $15,600 to spend for the year. We have $120, but last.
Can you speak up, please?
Oh, sorry, I'm tired. For the year, we spent $117 for 2024. So that's roughly $3, give on that one. Shoreline fee, $13.50. Office supplies, $100.
Well, I don't think $100 is going to be sufficient for office supplies. If you're going to have all these committees and we're going to be doing voting and that kind of stuff, I think that number is low.
And what do you suggest? Last year we donated most of the stuff to keep the cost down.
Well, I understand that, but
We can't depend on donations, though. We have to be. Donations are great if we get them, but we shouldn't be planning our budget around them.
that's what I had that in my mind. What do you think, Charlene, for office supplies?
I mean, printer
We don't have to use it.
printer cartridges are pretty expensive. Everything is expensive right now. Postage.
That's true.
I mean, $400.
Would $250 be? Well, postage is separate, but
I see that. Yeah, $400.
would $250 be?
What I
Okay,
suggest.
400.
I'm okay with $400 as being suggested.
So that would be a total of $500 with our postage at $100.
Right.
I think postage needs to be somewhere around $200.
Again, we're going to be sending out stuff, and the postage stamp is now what, 69 cents or 70 cents? Yes.
And certified's even more.
Okay. So I think, yeah, it's more. I think we should be talking about 200 anyway. What do you think, Phil?
200 for office supplies?
Postage.
For postage, yeah, but let's do office supplies first, because I'm
Yeah,
thinking
we did
400 for
400.
office supplies and 200 for postage.
Correct,
Right.
That's 600 total.
Yes,
correct,
correct.
Then that's my vote.
okay.
All right.
Board member liability insurance, 1,300. I know Kelly had gotten quotes last year, but because of the way the board meetings were, we never got a chance to vote on or getting in the necessary information. But there was one that was lower that we had
Well,
discussed.
I think
So-
we budget the 1,300, and
Yeah.
if we can get it for less, that's
Right.
that's what we do.
It's historically $13.99, and last year was $13.12. I can call Cover Wallet and see what the cost to go with them this year is.
Yeah.
And I guess you could, whoever had the other option, find out what the cost would be from them.
Mhm.
But I would say to budget the same 13.12, maybe even $13.99. If we come in with a cheaper number, we'll change it. You know what I mean?
Why don't you just put 14 even and then
Yeah.
done.
14.
Yes. You hear that, Phil?
Yeah, it's not like we're trying to spend everything, it's just we want to make sure we have enough money in our budget to, we can have a surplus at the end of the year. I just want to make sure that we have ourselves covered so we don't go negative.
Just remember, a budget is not final. You can always make adjustments if
Right.
Right.
the situation.
But we have to have something to go by.
You gotta
Well, yeah.
just-
But our budget is sort of a guideline to determine how much we charge in fees to the members. Otherwise, we have to take out a loan when we run out of money.
All right.
Bank fees, $100.
Trailer tags has to be changed because
I'll
we
change
it.
just
Yeah, I
approved the
got-
check for 68.
Right.
And we only
Yeah.
got 61 here.
Yeah.
68.75.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bank fees.
I don't know. Let's see. You showed us.
97. Did you look up that $1,200 thing?
We did.
It was 1,200.
Yeah, it looked like we spent a lot on bank fees that year, but we didn't. It was a check for $473. The chargeback was $482,
Okay.
and we recovered that wholly when the property owner made good on the insufficient.
Okay.
And then there was another one for 700 and something, and that was the same story.
Okay.
It looked like we paid a lot on that, but we didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's mainly return items.
So,
checks.
is the $100 reasonable at this point?
Yeah, 'cause I don't think we need any more checks.
I don't know what bank fees we would have to pay.
Okay.
It's just our checks. That was 107.
So
Pay-
leave that
the
in there
PayPal?
or take it out?
Well,
leave it,
I would
just-
leave it in there because PayPal, you're going to contact them to figure out what's going on with them so we can make the payments? Or did you talk with the bank to see if we can make electronic or EFT payments to the bank?
We're not set up to do that.
Okay. I would leave it in there because if you can get the PayPal thing, it does charges for that. And we can recoup it through the people paying.
Right, but it doesn't take it from our bank account. It takes it out of the payment that's made to PayPal, and they
Oh,
send
that's
us the difference.
That's
So
right.
it doesn't have anything to do with bank fees.
I
Okay.
say you leave it on there just in case something happens to the checks because we know it was $97.20 to buy a thing of checks. If you don't use it, then it's only positive at the end of
It's
the year.
$100.
It's $100. Yeah.
Next item, attorney or legal fees. I threw in $3,500 because I'm of the opinion that we need an attorney
I
to look over whatever changes and personally just to make sure that the association and we're doing right.
I
What
think that's-
I'm hearing you.
That we're doing right.
Good.
$3,500.
She on the budget, it's $3,500 proposed in there, and I think that's too much. We shouldn't be budgeting that kind of money for legal fees.
I'm okay with it myself.
Yeah.
Charlene.
We have to have somebody look over these bylaws when they're done.
And we got a lot of people that are filing suits against, and
I think there's cheaper alternatives.
Now, we've had threats against the board for legal actions, so I think we need to be prepared for it. If we don't spend it, then it's still there, and we can determine at the end of the year where it goes. If it goes into capital reserves for the next year or whatever.
Well, I would propose that we have a lower number than this, and if we have money left over, there's no reason why we have to spend it. We have that money available, if we have it available.
And that's what our reserve capital is for. That is an unforeseen emergency expense. We don't need to budget for getting sued. If we want to budget $800, $900 to have someone read over, not retype, read over our proposed changes to our bylaws, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
$800-900.
Yeah.
Kelly,
I would-
so you want to make it 1,000?
I would be agreeable to $1,000.
I mean,
I think I think it needs to be, I can agree with a 2,
I can't at this time. I don't see that.
but I can't go any under because, even the HOA attorneys that I tried to price, they're anywhere from $250 on it to $500 an hour.
Well, there are other legal alternatives.
Well,
There
I mean,
are.
if we get into something that sticky, $3,500 isn't going to save us at all. They're going to quit doing business with us the minute we run out of money. I mean, so we need to band together, work as a community, and not have to bring a bunch of attorneys in for fights and
Well, it's not so much
disagreements.
that, but the other POAs that I've spoken with, they have one on retainer, and it's always good to have one on retainer or some sort of Kelly. You
you can
have
always get a prepaid legal.
Yeah.
As a retainer, if there's questions or some things that come up, that I think they usually give you so many questions a month or something like that.
But that's significantly less
Yeah,
than
okay.
$3,500.
Yeah. So, and I would.
Remember, we're not spending it, we're just having it available.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what? It doesn't hurt to have money available at the end that you haven't committed to yet, that you've got into a fund, okay? So, again, I would say $1,000, and if we have money, and if we have the occasion where we have the need to spend more money on legal fees, then we deal with it at that time. That's my suggestion.
Right,
Philip?
how about a happy medium? We just knock it in half.
knock it in half at $1,750.
I'll go as high as $1,200, but I don't agree with that. That's not a priority at this time for this community, and we're
Getting these
proposing-
bylaws in order.
It doesn't cost that
It
for the
doesn't.
bylaws,
There's-
Kelly.
there's
I'm a
alternatives.
member of another association that just recently added policies, fee schedules, and had all of their bylaws rewritten. It cost them $600. I know it's a need, and it's a bookkeeper right here in the local area. I mean, I know it's a need. It would clarify.
It's not an attorney.
It was a bookkeeper that retyped them, that rewrote them. See, having an attorney look at it and give you the okay, and having them rewrite them for you, which means type them out.
But you're paying.
No,
You're
that's
doing
what
all
the
the work.
committee is for.
Right.
That's what the committee's for, is to type them out. We need somebody to look over them. And then every
Okay.
2 years we have updates that need to be made. Of course, well,
Right.
I'll agree to splitting in half, like Kelly said. I can do that. I can come down at $1,750. But Bill,
I'll go.
So let's hear a motion.
I'll make a motion to make it $1,500.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Philip makes a motion. Oh, go ahead.
Begrudgingly.
Charlene seconded.
Okay. Yeah. Have any discussion, or are we ready for a vote?
I just hope that if something happens and that money is needed somewhere else, we don't harbor on the side of what if the sky falls, and keep it there when the community is in dire straits of needing it somewhere else.
and as we go down the capital reserves, that's what we're putting in toward for that if something happens. And it's already allotted in here.
And that's a totally different thing than what I just said.
Yes.
That is a totally different thing than what I just said. What I said was I hope this board keeps an open mind that in the event of an emergency and that money is needed, that the attitude is not, oh no, what if the sky falls? Let's just leave it there. That's all I said.
Oh,
That has
no.
nothing to do with the capital reserve.
Okay. Any other,
I acknowledge that's your hope.
any other discussion?
Jerry motioned, who seconded?
Charlene
did.
did. Can we vote?
All in favor of $1,500?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Philip, no?
Kelly?
Aye.
Jerry, Philip, and Kelly, aye. Philip, no. Wait, did I?
I think we were
Charlene.
all
Okay,
aye.
sorry. Jerry, Kelly, Charlene,
Aye.
aye. Okay. And Philip, no.
Philip was no.
Bad debt, we had $1,000. We have to put it in there for those that don't pay their dues.
Just in case.
Well,
Two of the outstanding from last year, there are sale contracts pending.
Two of those.
Two of the three that were outstanding from last year have sales pending.
But nothing.
They've written them up. It's, they're just doing their due diligence.
So we're gonna get that back.
Let's hope.
As well.
well,
I'm just, in terms of having that bad debt number there.
as you have to, I agree, you need to budget something. So,
I hate it, but
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna quibble on that one at this point.
Like,
Road
what was it last year? We budgeted 1,000 and I think we went over. Maybe it was a year before that.
But that also cleaned up everything that was out there too.
Right. And just, again, it's a budget number at this point. Okay.
Road maintenance,
Oh, wait. We're gonna vote on it? Keep it in there?
what, the bad debt? I didn't hear anything to the contrary.
Well,
Philip votes aye.
I.
If anybody wants to make a formal motion, that's my position.
That's what,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
we'll accept it afterwards.
Okay.
Road maintenance. That's you.
Yeah, that's me. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
no,
Kelly.
it's not me. It's all of us, folks.
50 left.
Yeah. Road maintenance at $3,500 is, okay, so we'll just, it's not enough for an annual amount, okay? Now, I know the money that we spent was,
You're fixing to hit her in the head.
I don't want to hit her, okay? All right. So, that number should be more like $7,000 in budget.
I agree. I was going to ask you how much you spent this last year. Because you can't plan next year's budget without knowing what we spent the year before.
Yeah.
Well, he spent 1,000 last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
816403.
It's what we spent last,
81,000?
yeah, last year.
8,100?
8100.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Jerry, you're the best one to be giving us input on this because you volunteer a great deal of labor that would have cost us a ton if it wasn't for your time
yeah.
and the other volunteers that help you.
So,
Do you see prices going up very much this coming year, or do you think the 8,000 will meet your needs? What are your thoughts?
It's like a lot of other things. I don't want to budget a large number and make it easy for people to say, well, you got this amount of money budgeted, okay? But I say we go with the 8,000 we spent last year, and we are going to have a reserve account that we can draw on if we have to. But let's don't budget too over budget, okay?
If we go up that much, we won't be able to put that much in the reserve account. I've got allotted to put $3,000 in
Okay,
the
well-
reserve account
Well, we take that one off.
Yeah.
Okay.
to start building that up.
Then
But
let's
if y'all wanna put $500 in there a year,
Well, that's,
Wait.
you guys, a reserve account you're not supposed to be touching except for emergencies. We can't fit it into our budget as something that we're pre-planning to draw on.
No,
Because if it costs us 8,000,
Well,
we know the 35 ain't gonna cut it.
okay. Kelley Kelley Harrell made a good suggestion while we were going back and forth here. We don't want to budget ourselves into the negative, okay? So let's look at these other items in here, decide on what they're going to be, and then we can figure out how much money we would have available to budget for roads, okay?
okay. We took off the website
Yes.
deal. We're gonna try the zero deal. So we went up 3, 4, 5. We went up $500 minus 2, so we got 1,500. That's 5,000. 6, 7. That would leave us 30. We went to 7,000 and kept the capital reserves at 3. That would give us $355.25 at the end of the year.
but why are we paying out reserve before we know that all of our priorities have been met and all of our dues have been collected? Isn't that an end of the year look at where we're
No,
at?
you budget ahead of time for what you're gonna put aside in
what
the
you're gonna
capital
put in the
reserve, so you
savings.
don't touch it.
But if you don't have it to put aside,
That's why you look at a budget and make a budget so that you have some for the future. Because then otherwise,
As
what
painful as
happens
it is,
if you're over,
we may need to ask the membership for more money.
I was going to say, then you have
We may
to do
need to ask them for
assessments,
another 50.
and we don't want to do that.
If we're asking for money, additional money just to put in the savings, I'm gonna have to nix that.
No,
In a reserve, yeah.
Or nix one of these other things.
Or you,
Because
you,
I
you,
can't.
you reduce the amount of the reserve that you
okay,
budget for.
you know what? We
Yeah.
haven't contributed to that money market account in 20 years.
Right.
I think we get
We
up
do
on
need
our
to start
feet.
saving, because we noticed that last.
Okay, well, we need to stand up. We need to take this horse by the reins. We need to get things handled, situated, and get on a really good, firm course. Yeah, we can contribute to it. $20 a month, $50 a month. That's $600 a year. That's more than we've done in 20 years. We've got.
Well, we had $20,000 in our reserves 5 years ago. We used it for that road fund. We spent $20,000 out of our own bank account and $40,000 in a loan.
What I'm saying
So
is
we
haven't
we had money
contributed.
once.
We haven't contributed to it in 20 years.
But we can't go through what we went through last year, and if we don't start putting more than just the $2,500 that's in the reserve in there, and it doesn't have to be the $3,000. I just these were numbers that I just put in there. We need to start doing something because again, we can't go through.
Well, let's put,
How much did our loan cost us in interest over the last 5 years?
we don't know that number right now.
Yeah, I bet it was a lot. 40 grand over 5 years. I bet it was a lot. I bet we spent thousands of dollars in interest alone, probably 25% of the loan amount.
Well, let's look at these numbers here. Let's go down. If we do the one,
I can't use my calculator because he's on the phone.
well, I'm just about to get mine out here operating, okay? All right, if we go $120, we had shore fee of $13.50. We got $400 for office supplies. We got $1,400,
200,
200,
68.75,
6,875,
100,
100,
1,500,
yeah, 1,500,
1,000.
1,000.
What is that?
Right now, that's $4,800. Okay,
$4,800.
So we had 1,000 in there, and then we got 8,000 that we're looking at,
For roads?
yeah. And then we got, let's leave out the capital reserve for the moment, okay? And so we can determine what that number would be.
12,800.
12,802.25, leaving us a balance or an amount. If you take the 15,600 minus the 12,802.25, gives us $2,797.75 left.
Okay. So that capital reserve number has to come down to like $2,000.
Did you hear that, Phil?
I did, and that's fine. I can live with that. I'd like it to see higher, but that's a start. As long as we don't have a mindset. What I'd like to see us have is in 5 years, if we had the $3,000, in 5 years we'd have $60,000. We could do some more paving. That to me, that's what the capital reserve account is instead of paying interest because we need something done, we save up and then do it. And I don't mind paying an extra $50 a year to go towards that. But we got to have the membership involved in that kind of a decision.
Okay.
Otherwise, all we're doing is adjusting our numbers back and forth, taking from one thing and moving it into another, which doesn't account for the fact that we've added something now that we didn't used to have. We've added a capital reserve account, which, either we've got to pull the money from some other thing that we've had expenses on, or we have to increase our assessments to give us something to put into this new account.
Okay.
So
I'd love to see paved roads someday. That'd be great.
Wouldn't we all?
Not going to happen if we don't save money.
Okay, so we're looking at 8,000 for road maintenance
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
2,000 for capital reserves. Is that what?
That's what we said,
Okay.
2,000.
That puts us at 14,802.25.
14,802.25.
25. This is where I was thinking we take in 15,600.
And then how much?
797.75, and that's not counting any additional monies that we get, but it leaves us about $800.
Yeah, essentially. Okay. All right. I'll make a motion that we approve this budget that we just discussed. And what we would be doing is we're going to spend $14,802.25. We will have $800 in reserve. So
$14,802.25.
Leaving a balance in the
expense.
account of $7,797.75.
yeah, it's
Right.
not $800. Okay.
But I
Not,
heard
not including
reserve.
the balance forward of 4,000 that we had before
Correct.
this year even started.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
But that,
Where-
but $3,500 of that is already allotted for
Okay.
the $4,900.
All right. And what are we doing to the road fund donations that are coming in? Where do those go?
That would be
That just
other
sits as a bank
income.
balance
We-
for
we
forward balance
can't-
for next year.
We can't balance budget for
Something we don't have.
offers that are gifts that come in.
But
if they come in, then I would say
if people specify it for road funds, then that's where the money
Goes
goes.
into
That
the
it needs to
capital
go to.
reserve.
That was my thought.
Mhm.
yeah.
If we're wanting to build that
Yeah, that's
and we're
where it would
budgeting
go.
for everything else, then why aren't we not transferring that amount monthly that come in as an outright road fund donation to the
should.
capital reserve?
Right.
That sounds fine with me.
Yeah, the difference, I think we shouldn't have a difference that isn't allocated. I think our budget should use our full amount that we receive in association fees, and anything that's in like the 700, that if that's over and above what our budget is, we should go ahead and allocate that into our capital reserve account. And then it's there if we need it, but we shouldn't have an untagged item in our budget. It should be somewhere.
Okay, so
but then we need to rediscuss the definition of that capital reserve account from what you were saying earlier tonight. So
It's for emergencies and improvements, unforeseen.
So we need, well,
It's got a definition. I don't have to give it to you. It's in the dictionary.
Okay, so, okay,
We,
hang on. We don't get all 78 payments. We don't get 100%, correct? Of our dues. So,
That's why you have that $1,000.
I thought that's what the bad debt was for.
right,
Yes, it
that's,
is.
that's what the bad debt is for. Okay. We do have some people that give extra, that, the Polyrine people, also come in and make payments for. And we're saying put those in the capital reserve funds, but what I'm hearing you say is that we only.
Who is you?
You, Phil, sorry. Yeah, I'm talking to you. What I'm hearing you say is that unless there is an emergency or we specify something else for that capital reserve, we don't need to tap into it. And we certainly don't need to get it below $2,500, right? Isn't that
Yes.
what you said, Charlene?
yes,
Okay,
I'm speaking for Charlene, but yes.
okay. So, is that what I'm hearing you say, Philip?
Okay, I want to back up.
But
Phil made the point.
Yeah, it
that
needs to
there's
be,
a-
everything has to go to an account, even if you just call it miscellaneous, I mean, there has to be some that's the way accounting works, you don't just not have an account for the overage. If you want to call the overage that's not unallocated, make a new account and call it miscellaneous. If you don't want it to go into capital reserves,
and that's
but
what
it has to go somewhere.
and that's what I'm getting at. Is,
Phil brought up a point that there's a definition for capital reserve, and I've looked it up, and I'm going to read it now.
Thank you.
It doesn't say strictly for emergencies.
It's-
A capital reserve is a portion of a company's funds set aside to cover unexpected expenses or future expenditures, such as a major renovation or repair. It acts as a financial cushion to help manage significant costs without disrupting normal operations.
Thank you.
So that could be just about
So-
anything we
Yeah.
decide needs to happen.
Yeah, unforeseen, or we're planning for, he was saying that the culvert, one part of the road up there needed to be replaced, and that front bridge needs to be,
It says for renovations or repairs. Repairs
Okay, so
don't
we
have to
can-
be emergency.
right,
Right.
so, but it's still a savings account, so we'd have to, if it's gonna cost $5,000 to do this, we've got to be able to put in that money.
So if it's for repairs and it doesn't have to be deemed and noted with a disaster declaration,
Yeah.
then we can take the money out of, we can stop, or we take the money out of our checking account and transfer it, no fees, into the reserve account so that we're operating just off what's in our checking.
Correct.
right.
And
That
that's
was
the
what
main
I
purpose.
proposed.
That's the main purpose,
And-
is
That's
to
what we're
operate off
supposed to
of the
do.
main
And you-
checking, and then should something come up.
And you did a better job of explaining what I was trying to get to with Phil. Okay? So, anyway, all right. So, the $700 and something that's left over from what we're budgeting here is going to go into our check,
No, we're gonna leave that in the bank.
gonna leave it in the bank.
And then
Right.
anything that comes in for road fund, it's going straight into the other one.
Correct. Okay? So,
I don't understand what you mean by in the bank, because it's all in the bank. So there's
Oh,
a $700
we got two
dollars going into the capital reserve account, a miscellaneous account, or is it unaccounted for money?
it's going into the reserve account.
Thank you.
Note, I said reserve.
Not
Road.
Yes, capital reserve account.
No, I didn't say capital reserve, I said reserve.
Okay, well then we got a problem.
Road donations to reserve.
Okay, can we vote on this?
Jerry motioned, I need a second.
second.
Kelly second. All in favor? Charlene?
We still need discussion after it's second.
Okay.
Discussion comes after a second.
Okay, you want to discuss?
I'd like to discuss it some more, yeah.
You're kidding.
Jerry, what I understand you to saying is we have a disagreement on what a capital reserve account is. It was just read, and you're saying that you don't want to use the definition that was just read.
Oh, no. If we use the definition that is just read, I am good with it.
That's called a capital reserve account. Am I correct? Whoever read that to us?
Yes.
So we aren't in disagreement, Jerry, it sounds like.
We're not in disagreement as long as we abide by the terms of that definition.
Please print that out.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Capital reserve account, as defined for a business, is what it is. It's not for us to make up. It is what it is.
No, it's,
Charlene?
it's not an emergency fund that has to have a disaster declaration attached to it, and I think that's been our understanding, not this board, but this community's understanding for a long, long time, and that's not the case.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's a slush fund for us to use for our future goals. Maybe we want to build a community center. Maybe we want to pave the road. Maybe we had a washout that we didn't expect, and now we have to draw on it to repair the roads because our road fund wasn't enough.
To help manage significant costs without disrupting normal operations.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
Charlene's gonna print that out. We're gonna keep it with that account so that future people that come in, future board members that come in have no question that's what that account is for.
Okay,
Right.
are you good?
Sorry that I didn't explain it well. I made assumptions that everybody understood the definition
No, I
in
think
advance.
we're all on the same page.
Okay, have you had
Yeah,
enough,
me too.
have we had enough discussion, Phil?
I've come to consensus with you, Jerry, that we all understand the definition.
Okay,
So we can now have a motion and a vote.
we had the
I mean, a
motion,
vote.
we need a
Yeah, it's
vote.
Yeah, we can move to the vote.
Aye, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Philip, aye.
Okay.
Kelley, that was a pretty good budget. That was a pretty good budget. I can't think of anything you left out.
Okie dokie, we got these. Okay, member comments. We need to set a timer. Who's got a timer? I'm about to freeze my tail.
I do.
I got a sweater.
I just need to put a coat on.
There's a little color, huh?
You got that
You
right.
have, the member. Okay, where is 4, 5, 6, 7?
It's just how they came in. They put numbers on the top already.
Okay,
It's just.
is your wife
It's on the-
there? Phil?
Are you talking to Philip?
I'm talking to Philip.
She is.
I'm
You
trying
need-
to get it out.
have a
I'm
question?
freezing, so my mouth is. Okay, so
Paula,
she
I need
wanted
you
to
for a
speak
minute.
first.
Time for you to speak.
She had message.
Paula, it's your turn to speak. Put that on your head. Or let me turn on. Switch it.
Okay, he's switching it to, okay. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Hit start.
She started?
Well,
Go ahead.
he's doing,
Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. I had to put it on speakerphone so I could hear as well when she's talking.
Okay.
Give me a second. Please. I'll pull this up.
Okay. Now you went away.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're up all the way here.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, good. All right, so I believed at the last meeting that we had turned a corner on becoming a functionally healthy community, but I was wrong. Jen and Mike Harris, you two are a destructive force to this community. You hide behind the claims of.
I thought this was addressing the board.
Somebody said stop.
Attacking other property owners.
We've got people that are interrupting, and we're going to ask you to leave.
No,
Okay?
No.
Yes. We asked. We said it at the beginning of the meeting, and I'm not going to put up with this again. We'll shut it down. We won't have member comments if you're not going to let the people speak.
Can we ask
Okay.
the members that want to make comments that they address their comments to the board, please?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Shall I start over?
Start over.
Well, I believed at the last meeting we had turned the corner on becoming a functionally healthy community, but I was wrong because we have two members of this community, Jen and Mike Harris, who are a destructive force. They hide behind a claim of transparency, but when they send out email threats, they send it to just a few people. They claim to be for open debate, but if people disagree with them, they block them from their site. So for the second time in as many months, those two are now threatening another lawsuit. Now, Mike Harris actually acknowledged in the last meeting, although it wasn't a quiet voice, so the microphone might not have picked it up, that they were pursuing a lawsuit for the POA being falsely representative, and that each and every homeowner in Camp Branch would be responsible for the legal fees and the judgments. And I stated that if they wanted to pursue this, then all those fraudulent forms, the federal, state, and bank documents signed by Jerry Sullivan and Tim O'Brien would have to be added to their lawsuit because that was the first time that the misrepresentation happened. Now they're threatening another lawsuit demanding dissolution of the corporation. So first of all, they do not have the right to demand anything on behalf of all the homeowners. Perhaps the majority of the homeowners like being a proper legal entity. Secondly, they lobbied quite heavily in the previous vote to not have the language added to our CC&Rs to be able to dissolve the corporation. So now they're backtracking. Apparently now they're in favor of it, and they are daring to demand it under the threat of a lawsuit. So I think the board needs to address the fact that they are blasting everyone with all these emails with false allegations of Cody, myself, Kelle Rahm, Kelley Harrell, but they don't send out emails to every single homeowner telling them that they have decided to represent the entire community, that they are making demands on behalf of the community, and that each one of us in the community will be financially responsible for their lawsuit. Now, I said last time that this is not a dysfunctional board. It's a dysfunctional community, and it's fueled by this kind of hatred. So the Camp Branch website that Jen Harris refuses to turn over to the board needs to be shut down. They need to stop emailing the community with these slanderous things. And if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. They do not represent the community. Meanwhile, I'd also like to thank Cody Hahn for using his valuable time today to help Ben work on the dam. And I also want to applaud Cody for taking the high road and steering clear.
Paula.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mike Harris.
Before I start, if it pleases the board, would you please explain to the community whether we are unincorporated nonprofit POA, like we've been since the formation, or are we incorporated now due to Kelley and Kelley's incorporation making that official? What's your position?
We are an incorporated POA based on the legal documents that have been signed over the years by several previous boards holding us out to be, which I presented at the last board meeting, where we said when we qualified for a loan, we stated that we were a nonprofit HOA organized under the laws in the state of Texas. Our management certificate that was filed numerous years ago additionally said we were a nonprofit HOA organized under the laws of the state of Texas, and there was a resolution recovery document also. We also filed a lawsuit numerous years ago that also stated that.
All right, so I am not, Jen and I have no intention of suing the community or suing the board. Our beef is with Kelley and Kelley, who last May illegally incorporated
Mike, please keep your comments directed towards the board.
illegally incorporated the board and refused to tell the board members sitting here and withheld it from the community until we found out in September. Now, just because those paperwork in the past may have made a mistake and said that it was incorporated, the only way to become incorporated is to file incorporation through the Secretary of State of Texas. Now, you're saying we're incorporated now, so this incorporation you two did, is that what we're saying we fall under
Kelly
now?
didn't do anything. I did.
Okay.
And I think
I filed the paperwork. I filed a one-page document with the Secretary of State of Texas called a Certificate of Formation. That's what I filed. We're not an LLC. There were no articles of incorporation. It was a one-page form that was filled out that said, here's who the registered agent are, here's who the board of directors are at this time, and here's our CCRs. Let us know if we qualify
That's
to be a nonprofit HOA.
So two
The
things.
Secretary of State said yes, and I'm not going to discuss it any further. Your wife has stated she's already made a complaint with the Secretary of State of Texas. Let's let them deal with it, and they can determine if what we did was legal or not. If we didn't, they're certainly going to let us know. Thank you.
So his 2 minutes, did that include Kelly's time?
No.
No. Okay, good.
Keep going.
Here's the deal. So it looks like this is going to go to a civil lawsuit because you refuse to back down. It is what they've done puts us all in jeopardy. As a matter of fact, when Kelley Harrell put her name down as the organizer, that should have been Camp Ranch Acres. And then the up above, because Kelley doesn't own, you did it wrong. Kelley doesn't own Camp Ranch Acres. So if her name stays there and it's not Camp Ranch Acres and then we incorporate Camp Ranch Acres Incorporated, then our covenants do not follow us. You should have talked to a lawyer. But anyway, so
We're talking state. The state filled it out for us.
You don't want to leave, do you?
And the next thing
We can't
is,
do that either.
and the last thing is, you say you want to be up to date and everything. Well, when I looked at the board, the members of the board haven't been updated. It still has Joe and Travis on there. Joe didn't know anything about it. So this whole meeting, if you're going to go by that you're incorporated, you haven't updated the board. This whole meeting's illegal.
1 minute.
Like it doesn't mean anything because you look on the Secretary of State's website and you haven't updated who the board members are. So you say you want to be legal, you want to get a path to legality and everybody work together, but yet here we are. You're refusing to back in. So I'm going to offer mediation to Kelly and Kelly and cover our own cost on that as an olive branch. But if we have to go forward with a civil suit, it will be against Kelly and Kelly, not the board.
30 seconds.
And the insurance is not going to cover Kelly and Kelly. They're going to have to cover their own legal bills. Yes, it's a mess, and it's too bad that they hid this from the people, and they just did this on their own. But here we are, and it doesn't sound like they're going to back down, so we'll see where it goes. I hope they do back down.
I have no intentions of backing down. I did what I did to protect every single member of this community because as an unincorporated HOA, if there's a lawsuit, every single person in this community is liable.
And
We have held ourselves out in numerous
Time.
legal documents that said we're an incorporated HOA, and that's what I made
And you
us.
didn't tell us.
Time. We're done.
Kay Sullivan.
Okay.
I thought it was Jennifer was gonna be next.
No, you're number 3.
Kelly? Wrong. Back in the summer, this was brought up that you illegally filed 2 amendments illegally, that you did it on your own without membership approval. You said that you would fix it. It has still not been fixed as of yesterday.
I've been
Why?
talking with another member, and they're helping me to get that because I just haven't had time. To be honest with you, I haven't had time, and the rest of this stuff
But
is
you had time to go down and do it. I go every month to Groveton.
okay.
You know, I'd like to know that. Also, people, and this is going to go on the budget, and it just came up. People who donate money to go to the road fund, you just need to put a line underneath that saying donations to road fund and show that it is going to the road fund. If you tell them it's going to go into our money market or a capital accumulate, whatever you're going to call it, they're not going to like that. donate money specifically to go to rock and asphalt and stuff like that. I'm through.
Thank you. It's Jennifer next.
Jennifer Harris.
All right, so I just wanted to address the issue of fiscal responsibility. We did hear this budget proposal tonight, and I was a little surprised at the $3,500 for legal expenses. And I did hear Kelle Rahm kind of mumble that, well, with all the lawsuits and stuff. I wanted to clarify, Mike and I have an issue with the unauthorized actions by Kelley and Kelley. That we are addressing that. Those were individual actions. That was not a board decision. That was not a property owner decision. So we are addressing that, but that is not going to cost the association anything. We're not suing the board. We're not suing the association. In fact, we gave a 30-day notice. You guys just need to close the corporation. If not, then we'll go to mediation and go from there to district court. We haven't gotten any kind of reply on that. So that's where we're at with that. I also, I was surprised. I heard the kind of math in the head going on over there. It sounds like what was originally budgeted for the website was $400 to $500. That is a ridiculous amount for a small association. We're 70 properties. We're not selling products on that site. Google Sites is free. You can connect it to, I know y'all didn't understand this when y'all were talking. It's like Google Drive and Gmail. Once you're signed in under CBAPOA at gmail.com, you get access to your different services. That includes the sites for all of the editing and everything else. It's drag and drop, it's user friendly, and it's secure because anybody trying to hack your website is going to have to hack Google. So good luck with that one, huh? So that's all I got to say about that is let's be fiscally responsible. These property dues right now are $200, and I know that has been minimized by some people here talking about how they've never lived anywhere that was less than $200 a month, or let's just buy them all, these kinds of things. This is real money to real people here. Let's be responsible with it.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Why, Jennifer, why is it so important to you and Mike about this paperwork? I mean, there's a lot of back and forth and going on, and people are undermining why you're so interested in it. The board is adamant that they were doing the right thing. Why is it such a big deal?
This is not just me deciding that I want to fight an issue. Mike and I run a home health agency. We run an infusion service for people with rare diseases. Part of what we want to add on to what we're already running, and we are a corporation, so I know all the compliance that has to happen. We want to add on a foundation that helps cover co-pays for some of these very expensive medications. When I am applying for grants and to different foundations for money for these patients, they do background checks. And I cannot be a member of a corporation that is non-compliant. And I understand, people said before, everything wasn't done perfectly before. We can fix things, we need to fix things, but right now we cannot build a foundation of legality on a foundation that the corporation started at its very first second of existence as illegal. We need to revoke the corporation, rescind it, repudiate it, whatever, and then fix our house. And there were things that needed to be fixed. We did that.
Okay.
Let's fix our house.
All right, well, that sheds a little bit of light on it.
Thank you, Charlene, for asking.
I wondered, it's a huge deal. I get it on both sides, and I've been wondering how did this happen, but so thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Does any of the board members want to speak? I did get the certificate of termination from the state of Texas, and in order to do so, the event requiring wind up, you have to check one of them. A voluntary decision to wind up the entity has been approved in a manner required by the Texas and the governing documents. A period of duration specified in the governing documents of the entity has expired. An occurrence of an event specified in the governing documents, and we shot down the thing to add that sentence. the occurrence of an event specified by the Texas Business Organization Code that requires the winding up or a court decree. Those are the 5 things, and so we have to pick one.
Can I give you the input from our legal services?
This is from the state of
Can I
Texas,
give you the
so.
legal opinion from our legal services of how to do that? The corporation was formed by you and Kelly. You can wind
And
it
we
up
didn't-
saying that it's the end of that entity, because that entity is not us.
That entity is what was done in 1967.
No, ma'am.
Yes, it was,
And that's
and
what I
it was
really know.
supposed to be, and we went through this, the governing documents state that in
State what?
paragraph C1 and C6.
State what? Because this formation was founded by Kelley Harrell. This corporation was founded by Kelley Harrell, by the way she filed it. She can close. This
No,
is
she
by
filed
legal-
it as an agent.
And
You
if,
have that
No, you were
paperwork?
the agent, which was incorrect because you had a invalid address as a registered agent, which makes it invalid right from the very beginning. She was the organizer, the founder,
and if we were,
the founder.
if we were incorporated in the 60s, then it would be listed with the Secretary of State.
Are we at a point where this is what the mediation does?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can go to
I think
mediation.
I think we are. I think that's where we're at right now.
Because
Because this is like
But as far
way
as
over
looking
my
at
head.
this form, what we were told by our legal services is that they can
My
wind it
middle
up.
child.
I
But in
understand.
1967, there is hereby created the Camp Branch Acres Subdivision Property Owners Association.
Right, as an unincorporated nonprofit.
Okay, I motion to adjourn.
Let's just go to mediation and we'll clear it up.
Anybody second?
I second.
All in favor to adjourn? Phil?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody, for staying.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
the member comments, thank you for standing up and commenting, thank everybody for coming and freezing to death.
And thank you to the deputies and to Constable Adamic for being here. Thank you.
I love you all.
Can we take a 2-minute break?
Let there be peace.